What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Where am I at? What's my spot? Hold on. I need to switch this thing around. Hey! Oh my goodness. Let me get this thing switched around. All right, just out here, just finished my insanity workout and came down here because I'm gonna do some filming on the basketball court. So there we go. Let me see, that sun's gonna be coming up in a bit, so let me get back like this. All right. Woo! All right. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Hold on. Hey! What is going on, everybody? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started today. Today is Friday, and if you saw the announcement that I was gonna go live yesterday, I had some technical difficulties as far as setting up the camera. I had a bad angle, so it recorded the audio, but it did not record me sitting there. I think it just caught a part of me. So what I'm gonna do is, just as always, you want to like this, you want to share this. You want to like this, you want to share this, because this is going to go up on my Plan Your Greatness TV channel, just like the other one. And the other one, I'm going to keep the audio because the audio is good. It was a good topic. I'm just going to go back and cover over the picture, and then you'll just hear an audio. But it's a good message, so I don't want to lose it. But I'm here again today. And today, what is it about? What am I secreting out of my skin that these flies are, bother me? And then, I think about it. A fly jumps on you, and then a fly stays on you, and you are swinging. And I always wonder. I said, does the fly understand that you're trying to tell him, "Hey, get lost"? But the fly just keeps. I don't know. I always thought that was funny. You keep waving a fly away, but the fly keeps coming. So evidently there's something that I need, that he or she, the fly or it, says that, well, I need it. I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't even compute that. I just know this is what I need. So I'm gonna just go after it. All right. So today is Friday. Thank you all for joining or watching the playback of this. If you've been following me, you've heard my story. Hold on a second. It's one thing when you're going live. If you got to spit, you got to spit. But if you follow me, and I want to try to make this quick this morning. If you follow me, you'll see, and the stories that I tell have to do with my path and how I've gotten to where I am right now. It's not the normal path. It's a little unusual. I talked about it the other day, saying that if you come from a dysfunctional environment, if you behave dysfunctional in a dysfunctional environment, that is considered standard. But if you start behaving non-standard in that dysfunctional environment, or you're basically not doing the typical things that are in that environment, you seem a little off, because it is normally expected to behave in that way in that environment. That makes sense. Okay, if you're in a crazy environment, you should be acting crazy. When you don't act that way to move yourself out of it, to everybody that's in that environment, you look like the crazy one. All right? And so with that reminder through all my videos, I usually will put a little hashtag in, say, mental health matters or mental health awareness, something in that regard, because I'm not an advocate for medication except in extreme situations. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not making a diagnosis or anything or telling somebody not to do medication. It just said I'm not a believer in it, because when I went through my situation, going to prison and depression and everything, it was bad. I don't know if medication would have put me in a better mind state, because I know that if I'm in a bad place and you give me some medication that makes me feel better, but am I actually in a mindset to actually do anything to resolve my situation? That's always my concern, as far as how do you then help somebody resolve the situation? Because there's a lot of things I have about the whole mental health community, but I think it's very important that we are aware of what's going on and we take the steps to help people get through those situations. But so my topic today is, just mental health awareness. And I bring that up just because I know how important it is, or it was, in my development. Because I look at it this way. People, especially now, people go through really, really traumatic situations. And suicide is something that is becoming an outlet for people. Okay? And somebody may get on here that have contemplated suicide. Somebody may get on here that knows somebody that committed suicide. And they'll tell me, well, you don't know what you're talking about and everything. I go, nah, I may not. I know I went through some situations where I don't know if I actually thought of saying, I want to off myself. But I think what happened is I was in situations where my mind state was of, and what am I doing here? What am I producing here? And so then you start to begin thinking, well, if I'm not really producing anything here, what the point? What is the point of me being here? But with that thought in mind, I always challenge people to this with this thought. Okay, you're at the bottom. You've hit rock bottom. You don't believe anybody is in your corner. And then, most importantly, you don't even believe in yourself. So now you've got some options. How do I gain some importance? How do I gain some value? Do I do it through education? Do I find some sort of skill? Do I try to take power from someone else by maybe robbing them or something? Or do I just go, there's nothing for me to do here. Well, let me just go, because don't nobody care and nobody's going to miss me. Okay, that becomes the process of thinking. But I always think of it this way. Okay, if you're in as bad a situation as you're in right now, okay, if you say that, you know what, and you take the most kind of outrageous goal. Okay, you're not a very smart person. You say, you know what, I eventually want to fly rocket ships, or I want to work at NASA. Okay, so you're starting from ground zero. Well, if you take that idea and you go, okay, I'm going to see if I can actually work on these rocket ships and everything. I mean, you start studying everything and you don't make it. Okay? You don't make it. You don't become that person that is making the rocket ships or flying them. Okay, so you failed. Okay, so now you're actually right back where you started. Now, in some people's mind, they'll say, well, that's actually worse than where I was before, because I actually tried something and I failed at it. And so now it's making me feel worse because I tried something, I failed something, now I feel worse. I'd say, okay, I challenge a person to think of this. Okay, in the process of when I committed the crime, and then I was actually in prison, and then I decided that I was going to try to be the best person that I could be. You see where I'm going with this? I made a decision to say, okay, I am going to decide to be the best version of myself. I'm going to try to basically go build rocket ships. That's basically what I said, because I was actually coming out of prison with barely a high school diploma, of course, no college degree, really no recognized usable skills. I didn't weld, plumbing, anything, HVAC. I had none of that stuff. But I said, I'm going to go back to school. Now, had I flunked out, I could have taken the approach and said, you know what, I'm dumb. I'm an absolute idiot. Yeah, you could take that approach. But what you also can look at is, okay, during the process of what I'm trying to get to, I'm either going to get there or I'm going to get better at whatever it is that I'm doing. Because in the process of me becoming what I am right now, a business owner, an author, even if I didn't finish the book, even if I didn't finish my college degree, there was a whole lot of stuff that I did that was pretty cool in the process. So I was actually just a better person by doing that. And that's why I always challenge people who are in a very dark place is when you set up a goal or you're trying to get to something, it's not so important that you actually get to the destination. It is the fact that you are actually just in pursuit of something very definite, not jumping all over the place saying, well, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. And even if you do that, that's actually better than just saying, I'm just going to give up. Because if you decide that you just are going to just stop this pursuit of anything, that serves, in my opinion, that serves no one. Because you should be, and I wrote this down as a note, you should be in pursuit of something for the rest of your life. And I have a belief that you cannot hold those two thoughts in your mind at the same time. You cannot hold the thought of killing yourself or expiring or just quitting and the thought at the same time of being something better than what you are right now. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that, but you can play this thing back later on or go watch it on my channel when I upload it. And that is, you cannot, I do not believe the Almighty gave us the ability to hold two completely different thoughts in our mind at the same time. I don't even think, even if they're the same, on the same lane or whatever of thoughts, I don't even think we could hold two at the same time. One of them is going to become dominant. But more specifically, two very opposing thoughts. One thought says, I quit, I give up, nobody's going to help me, nobody's in my corner. And then the other thought is saying, you know what? I think people will help me if I'm going to try this. I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm going to really try to be the best that I could be at something. I don't think that we have the ability to hold those thoughts, both of those thoughts at the same time. Now, somebody will come in and say, well, I believe this. I go, well, you can even give me a whole bunch of data, okay, and just say, well, I've got scientific proof. I'm going to tell you, I don't even care about that scientific data. I'm going to say that my belief is that the most dominant thought is going to be the one that carries the most weight. Because if you honestly believe in yourself that nobody cares, and you just go, I don't care what anybody else says, I don't believe anybody cares, and I don't believe I have the ability to make any changes in my life, then you're going to act accordingly. But if you say, you know what, I honestly think that I'm going to at least give this a try. I'm gonna go and just pursue this, and whatever happens at this end. And if that doesn't work out, then I try something else. And if that doesn't work out, then I'm gonna try something else. You see where I'm going with this? To me, there's never any point where you just throw your hands up in the air and just says, I give up on just life. I give up on everything. Now, you may stop doing something that isn't working. See, that's a difference. And I think some people get that confused. They do something that's not working. For instance, when my career ended, there wasn't anything else for me to do. And I didn't recognize that there were actually a lot of things I can do, which came about later on from all my experiences doing other stuff. But the first thought I had was, what do I do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do with this time? what am I going to do with this baseball skill? How do I take this baseball skill and turn it into something else? And every time I said that to myself, what I kept seeing and feeling was there wasn't anything that I could translate that into now. Now, here's what's powerful about that is that if I were to take my thinking right now and put it into myself when I was at that moment, it would have been a smooth transition, because then I would have said to myself, you know what? Your baseball career is over. You can't throw balls 100 miles an hour anymore. You can't chase women. You're not going to travel all over the world anymore. That is done. All right, so what you going to do now? What can you do? Well, I know I can go to school. I know I can read, I can write, I can add, subtract, multiply, divide. I can do the basic things. I can learn, I can comprehend. You know what? I'm not a bad dude. So let me just go ahead and see what comes from this. But at no point in time am I ever just going to just give up on everything. I may stop doing things that are not very productive, that are not working. That's a different mindset. It's just saying, okay, that's not working. Let me move on to something else. Okay, so that's a big difference. That's a big change from just sitting here and saying to yourself, nah, I just give up on everything. All right. So I wanted to share that. Let me see. I got my little notes here, because I always get on here and I get on little tangents. So I want to make sure that I'm not just flying all over the place. But the last thing I mentioned this before, but I want to mention this again, is that whatever you fail at, it's never worse than like where you are right now. Because if you're in a bad state and you try to pursue something and it does not work, that doesn't mean that's worse than where you are right now. All that means is that did not work. Try something else. And I'm going to say this again. I think a lot of kids, a lot of people, especially in today's time, they tell themselves this is not working, so that means nothing works. And I'm going to repeat that again. The way we should attack things is, if this isn't working, try something else. But what we end up doing is we say to ourselves, this isn't working, so that means everything doesn't work or nothing works. Now, if you take the mindset that if you try something, it doesn't work, that just means try something else, try something new, or try it again and just fail differently, learn from the mistakes that you made. And this sounds very cliche, but this is very simple on how I got to where I am right now. I kept failing at different things, or if something didn't work, I just tried something else, And so I look at that and I say that if anybody is trying to move themselves from one place to the next, and they actually take this approach that they're not afraid to fail, they're not just giving up on the entire process. They are actually just looking at these things as either I'm making adjustments or I need to try something new. That is the formula for planning your greatness. All right. Thanks for coming out. If you didn't jump into this live like right at the very beginning, go back when this thing gets posted, because I'm actually at a basketball court. I'm shooting around, because after this, I'm gonna do some stuff. I'm gonna film some stuff, because I'm gonna do like a little TikTok video for my store. But you'll get to see me shooting around a little bit. I can still shoot. I can't quite shoot the threes like I used to, because my shoulder is just, it's been so damaged from all the baseball. So I don't shoot the threes as good as I used to. But I tell you what, I can still shoot a 15, 17, 18 footer. I can still shoot that with great accuracy. I just can't go beyond the 3-point arc. All right. Again, plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. I will see you all next time.